next questions are not going to be the number they are necessarily like on the test, but there's some like this. They're parent functions. So basically, I have a picture of the Montreal Expos here, which is no longer a team. I saw them play once. That tells you how old I am. But which graph is this one? What graph would that one look like? Anybody know the name of this graph? It's not square root. The x is in the exponent, so it's exponential. It's called exponential. Says you can't touch this. It's got an asymptote. We didn't really talk much about that. All right. So we can't touch this. There's an asymptote right there. That's what they'd be talking about right there. That green line would be an asymptote. Because that exponential function is going to get real close to it, but never quite touch it. It'll get closer and closer to 0, but never quite to 0. And it's exponential. This one's the exponential function. Okay? The asymptote is at y equals 0. All right? But it's the exponential function. See, it says exponential right up here in the problem, right? So if you see 2 to the x, it's an exponent. If you see the graph, it looks kind of like, I call it maybe a curvy L. Kind of got it going up. It's an exponential. All right? This one wants to know linear. Well, first off, linear is the y equals x, or straight line. Okay? That one's linear. Everybody got it? That will be your linear. So if it may ask you for the equation, or it could ask you for the graph, or it could ask you for the name. Everybody got it? It could give you a picture and ask you for the name. On all of these, I think it gives you the name and asks you for the equation in the picture. Got it? Or the graph. So cubic, not a cube, is x cubed. And the graph looks something like that. Kind of like a snake. I call it snakes up. Snakes up. These are ones I kind of drew by freehand when I didn't have some computer access to do some things like, well, some software. I now got some software I can make better ones. All right? This one, oh, you see a log, so it's a logarithm. Yeah, if you see the word log in the problem, you know it's a what kind? Logarithm. And the logarithms kind of make curvy L's that are upside down, I guess. Upside down curvy L's. And this one also has an asymptote at, can't touch this. That's what an asymptote is, you can't touch it. All right. At x equals 0. There'll be an asymptote right there. All right? Just so that you know that. And x equals 0 is the asymptote there. A rational equation is the one I call the curvy L's. That one's actually the curvy L's, the two curvy L's. All right? That one's a rational. If you see that, it's 1 over x. That's a rational. That's the name of it. Quadratic is the x squared. And it's the parabola. Looks something like that there. These are the parent functions. What they are when they're not shifted. As I draw them freehand. Not real great. And I will say this one here, the square root one looks like that. And the domain is limited because you cannot have a negative into it. Now, I don't think there's a question about the domain and range on this particular test. This domain and range are limited. It's a square root graph. All right, and that's the equation, and the thing looks like that. Okay, you go ahead and stop.